Following former President Donald Trump's appearance at a rally in the Bronx, a notable portion of his supporters vacated the venue almost immediately after his speech began. Despite this atypical occurrence, Trump appeared undeterred, maintaining his usual composure throughout his address. Unbeknownst to him, the attendees were gravitating towards a nearby demonstration. The rally in the Bronx saw a substantial turnout of fervent supporters, many of whom carried banners and wore red hats symbolizing Trump's presidential campaign. As Trump took the stage, he was met with a chorus of cheers and applause, creating an atmosphere charged with anticipation. However, this ambience swiftly altered as his speech commenced. Video footage released on Thursday, May 23, 2024, reveals that groups of spectators gradually exited the event, moving towards an area occupied by protesters. This unusual exodus captured the attention of onlookers and media personnel in attendance. Despite the noticeable departure, Trump remained unperturbed, continuing his speech without acknowledging the exits, showcasing the steadfastness characteristic of his persona. The core themes of his address included criticisms of Vice President Joe Biden's administration, the current state of the economy, and his commitment to Make America Great Again. The sight of supporters leaving to join protesters marked a significant departure from the usual dynamics of his rallies. Tensions outside the venue escalated as departing attendees interacted with the demonstrators, creating a cacophony of conflicting voices and chants from both sides. Political analysts and commentators have been eager to speculate on the reasons behind the abrupt walkout. Some suggest it may indicate waning enthusiasm among Trump's supporters, while others propose it was a deliberate effort by a subset of supporters to engage directly with the protesters. This incident has undoubtedly ignited discussions about the current level of support for Trump, despite the precise motivations remaining unclear. Inside the venue, Trump appeared unaffected by the shifting dynamics outside, continuing his speech with unwavering confidence. His consistent demeanor reflected his belief in his ability to maintain a core group of loyal supporters, even amidst concerns about the broader movement's cohesiveness. The challenges of mobilizing a unified base are evident, and the departure of followers, whether symbolic or spontaneous, highlights these complexities. The media's focus remained on the striking disparity among the event's attendees following its conclusion. The rapid dissemination of video footage on social media, depicting supporters leaving and engaging with demonstrators, reinforced the notion of a potentially fragmented support base. The Springfield incident serves as a poignant reminder of the unpredictable nature of his campaign trail and the constantly evolving political landscape. Although Trump's core message remains unchanged, it is yet to be determined whether this deviation signifies a substantial transformation or is merely a sporadic occurrence. As Trump continues his quest for the White House, the South Bronx's diverse demographic composition, with a significant presence of African and Hispanic communities, was not entirely reflected in the gathering. Spanish was frequently spoken among the attendees. Trump asserted that the influx of migrants in New York adversely impacts African American and Hispanic communities by jeopardizing their employment and housing opportunities. He emphasized the primary detrimental impact of the surge in migrants in New York disproportionately affects our Black and Hispanic communities, resulting in job loss, housing instability, and an overall decline in personal possessions. This statement underscores the significant adverse effects on these communities. During his speech, a few individuals in the audience interrupted by repeatedly chanting "Build the Wall," referencing Trump's previous efforts to construct a barrier along the United States-Mexico border during his presidency. Trump has made several visits to the New York area, focusing his campaign efforts on the state. These visits included stops at a firehouse, a construction site, and a bodega in the Harlem district. At the event, Byron Donalds, a Republican representative from Florida and a Brooklyn native, delivered a speech highlighting Trump's dedication to protecting the interests of all New Yorkers and his efforts to rejuvenate the nation. Donalds is also being considered as a potential running mate for Trump. Trump began his address by reminiscing about past events in the New York community and highlighting his notable achievements, such as the reconstruction of Woolman Rink in Central Park. While conducting a traffic inspection, an unidentified individual was captured in a video, which was later shared on the social networking platform X, formerly known as Twitter. The video depicted the moment when the individual fervently urged Trump to proclaim his innocence. Despite the indistinctness of Trump's statement in the video, the supporter expressed unwavering belief in Trump's innocence, stating, "Okay, you are innocent. Understood? I remember that, brother." The video garnered more than 18,000 views and attracted significant attention and support from ardent Trump followers, accompanied by the statement, "New York loves Donald Trump." One user praised Trump's approachability but expressed concern about the exposed windows during the interaction. The former president received accolades for his skill in engaging with the public. Another user commended Trump for his accessibility, despite the overwhelming number of supportive comments. Critics of Trump managed to effectively express their dissenting opinions. Numerous observers pointed out significant inconsistencies in Trump's remarks, such as his previous assertions that he would not receive an impartial trial in New York. Others expressed disapproval of what they saw as unwavering allegiance to the former president, accusing his supporters of behaving like a religious sect. The upcoming November elections loom large and could set the stage for a rematch between Trump and his Democratic opponent, Joe Biden. However, unlike his successful 2016 campaign, Trump is now entangled in several legal issues, including the high-profile Stormy Daniels case. In this instance, Michael Cohen, formerly a fixer for Trump, and David Pecker, the ex-publisher of the National Enquirer, facilitated a payment to Daniels. Cohen's testimony confirmed the arrangement, revealing that they secured Daniels' silence to prevent any harm to Trump's campaign. When asked about potential reimbursement for the funds, Cohen tersely replied that it would be handled by his superior. Trump has vehemently denied all allegations against him, labeling the hush-money prosecution a disgrace. Despite these legal challenges, Trump remains a formidable presence in American politics. As he navigates the treacherous waters of the judicial system, he is buoyed by a loyal base of supporters. The narrative of Trump's political future and the broader landscape of American democracy will hinge on the question of his innocence as the legal drama continues to unfold. Although he officially relocated to Florida in 2019, Trump nostalgically referenced his New York heritage and connections at the start of the rally. Supporters dressed in red, "Make America Great Again," apparel lined up for security screening, with some rushing to witness Trump's speech. The event faced opposition from the Bronx Democratic Party, which organized a protest nearby. Union members displayed signs voicing their disapproval of Trump's visit, while some local Trump supporters defended him during the demonstrations. Representative Alexandria Ocasio-Cortez's statement that the Bronx would not support Trump was countered by Margarita Rosario, a longtime Bronx resident. Muhammad Ali, a Bangladeshi expatriate, expressed his newfound admiration for Trump, calling him a patriotic leader. During the event, Trump interrupted his speech to address a supporter who appeared unwell, asking, "Are you okay? Please take your time. Is there a physician present? I suggest you take your time, my dear." The speech, filled with echoes of "I love you," did not resume until medical professionals attended to the individual. Trump expressed his gratitude to the clinicians, acknowledging the sweltering conditions and the supporters' long wait for the event. Speaking at Catena Park, a public green space in one of the city's most economically and culturally diverse neighborhoods, Trump contrasted this venue with the predominantly white locations where he typically held rallies. Although the audience was not as diverse as the broader South Bronx, Trump positioned himself as a preferable choice for African American and Hispanic individuals, while simultaneously criticizing the current president's immigration policies. He argued that the most significant adverse effect of the migrant influx in New York is the loss of employment, housing, and resources for Black and Hispanic communities. suggesting they are losing control over their possessions and are the most affected by current events. Trump commenced his speech by paying homage to New York's transformation from a humble Dutch trading post into a globally influential cultural hub. He reminisced about his real estate career and his contributions to the restoration of Woolmanrink in Central Park. Despite his move to Florida, he told the audience that everyone wanted to be there, and they agreed. Regrettably, this city is now in decline. Subsequently, Trump made a bold statement, asserting that if a New Yorker cannot save this country, no one can. The Bronx Democratic Party organized a protest against the rally that Trump was conducting at the park during this period. Additionally, union members attended the event, brandishing signs that declared, "The Bronx says no to Trump," in both English and Spanish. Members of the MAGA movement were not pleased by the news, despite their reputation for unwavering loyalty to the former president. This behavior was not unique to the Bronx. Similar early departures were observed during Trump's speech in New Jersey, indicating a broader trend of dissatisfaction among his supporters. Additional instances of this phenomenon may be noted in other locations. The sight of Trump supporters exiting his speech prematurely has sent shockwaves through political circles and social media. This public expression of dissatisfaction is a significant setback for a leader who has heavily relied on the steadfast support of his base. It suggests that Trump's ability to inspire and retain his supporters may be waning. According to participant reports, the early departures were largely influenced by dissatisfaction with the content of Trump's address, highlighting a serious concern. A considerable number of individuals have voiced their displeasure with the former president's performance, as indicated in a video uploaded on Thursday, May 23rd. Some criticized Trump's repetitive language, while others felt he failed to adequately address critical issues. Recent events have revealed both the early exits and the deepening divisions within the Republican Party. Despite Trump's continued prominence within the party, a growing faction of Republicans is eager to move beyond the Trump era and chart a new course. The sight of his supporters leaving his address earlier than expected serves as a reminder that Trump's influence over the party may not be as strong as it once was. The announcement of the early departures has been met with immediate and harsh criticism on social media. Critics of the former president have seized the opportunity to ridicule what they perceive as a demonstration of vulnerability. Some of Trump's most devoted supporters have been left in a state of confusion, with many expressing their disappointment and sorrow at what they consider a missed opportunity. The early exits from Trump's speeches in the Bronx and New Jersey are a significant setback for the former president, underscoring the challenges he faces in maintaining the loyalty and enthusiasm of his supporters. This raises concerns about his ability to remain a viable political leader in the future. However, the unscripted statement that stole the show overshadowed the intended message of the gathering and ignited a frenzy of emotions on the internet. The remark was made during a particularly emotional segment of Trump's speech. While gesturing animatedly, he made a comment about the exceptional fit of his trousers. He paused, glanced down at his legs, and then resumed gesturing, saying, "You must acknowledge that these jeans are distinct from any other." "It is an exact compliment," he observed with a sneer. "These pants are the worst I've ever worn." The crowd's response was a mix of laughter and applause, indicating they were quite amused by the unexpected diversion. Almost immediately following its publication, the message began to gain traction on social media platforms. As soon as the remark was made, Twitter users quickly started creating jokes and memes that capitalized on its absurdity. However, some individuals speculated about the deeper significance of his focus on trousers, while others linked it to other notable gaffes Trump has made in the past. The event, organized to address several critical issues, including the economy, healthcare, and immigration, saw its press coverage swiftly shift focus, with headlines emphasizing the trouser comment rather than the policy discussions. A diverse array of experts and commentators expressed their opinions, ranging from amusement to bewilderment. Political observers suggested that the comment was a deliberate attempt to divert attention from more contentious matters. According to one observer, Trump has consistently demonstrated the ability to manipulate the narrative through humor and unexpected statements, indicating he might have known exactly what he was doing by making that comment. Many individuals perceived it as a candid and human moment that shed light on Trump's character. A pundit noted that sometimes a genuine and unusual remark can resonate more than the most meticulously crafted talking points, especially in a world where politicians are expected to deliver polished speeches. The comment's virality also underscored the significant impact of social media on public discourse. Videos of the pants remark spread across various platforms within minutes of the rally, reaching millions worldwide. As the chorus of jokes and memes grew, influential figures and celebrities joined in, adding their voices to the mix. One of the most popular memes depicted a doctored image of Trump standing in oversized pants with the caption, "When you forget you're not at a fashion show." Another meme featured Trump in a range of outrageous pants, from polka dots to fluorescent hues, with the tagline, "Trump's new campaign strategy, Pants Power." Despite the humorous nature of the situation, many onlookers voiced their concern about the distraction from more serious matters. It's easy to get caught up in the fun of viral moments, but we must remember the critical topics that were supposed to be addressed at that rally, said a political commentator. We can't let a pants joke overshadow the discussions about healthcare and immigration that affect millions of Americans. After the initial frenzy had subsided, the Trump team capitalized on the viral moment by creating merchandise featuring the best pants ever alongside a picture of the former president. This move was seen as a clever strategy to turn a potentially embarrassing situation into a fundraising opportunity. Ultimately, an unanticipated remark about pants will be the most memorable aspect of the Bronx event, not the policy initiatives or impassioned speeches delivered. It serves as a reminder of the unpredictability of live events and the remarkable speed at which the internet can transform even the most trivial moments into global phenomena. The quip that Trump made about his pants has firmly established itself as one of the most viral political moments in history. Whether it was a deliberate move or an unintended slip, this incident demonstrates that in the current media landscape, sometimes all that is required to attract global attention is a pair of jeans. Fox News estimated that 25,000 supporters gathered at the park, highlighting Trump's attempt to make inroads in a predominantly Democratic region. Conversely, the Associated Press presented a contrasting viewpoint, emphasizing the improbability of such figures emerging in one of the counties with the highest percentage of Democratic voters in the country. During his coverage of the event, Jim Dolan of ABC 7 New York provided a reality check by showing inconsistencies between the campaign's claims and the actual number of attendees. To ensure that only supporters were present at the rally, Dolan noted that the Trump campaign controlled who was allowed to enter the venue. He pointed out that this technique undermined any meaningful support from the local community. Trump can now claim that he held a rally in the South Bronx, a neighborhood home to minorities and immigrants, and that it was attended by a large number of people. However, there is a lack of clarity about whether the attendees were actually from the Bronx. Dolan stated that the campaign had complete control over who was permitted to enter and, of course, only selected supporters. Additionally, it appeared that many participants were from different states, as evidenced by the license plates of vehicles registered in Tennessee, Pennsylvania, New Jersey, and Texas. A second individual accused Trump of being dishonest and exploiting his supporters for financial gain. Richie Torres, a United States congressman representing the South Bronx, was present at the demonstration and did not hesitate to express his opinion. The discrepancy between Trump's claims and the actual turnout was clearly illustrated by the overhead photographs employed by ABC 7 in their coverage. The images depicted a significantly smaller crowd than the 25,000 individuals that the Trump campaign claimed were present, intensifying the online ridicule. Immediately, users of social media platforms capitalized on the opportunity to mock the overstated claims by posting parodies and images that comically undermine the campaign's narrative. A substantial number of these photographs were evidently not captured at the Bronx rally and were intended as lighthearted responses to the campaign's exaggerated figures. This incident is merely the latest in a series of controversies associated with Trump's public appearances and statements. Furthermore, it underscores the perpetual disparity between public skepticism and the perceptions of his followers, exacerbated by the ease with which fraudulent information can be disproven in the current era of digital technology. In addition to dismantling the rally's spurious claims, the repercussions extended beyond social media. The event exposed the ongoing challenges Trump faces in broadening his appeal beyond his core base, particularly in regions and demographics historically opposed to him. Given the impending criminal prosecution for hush money and escalating legal issues, it is conceivable that the discrepancy between Trump's campaign promises and reality could have significant repercussions for his political future. The rally in the South Bronx, intended to demonstrate Trump's broad appeal, ultimately underscored the challenges he faces in convincing a wider audience of his legitimacy and popularity. Trump's rally in the South Bronx illuminates the complex dynamics of American politics, which are defined by the potential to reshape the electoral landscape due to ever-changing voter concerns and shifting demographics. The unpredictable nature of contemporary elections is highlighted by the turnout in one of the most democratic regions of the country. It is uncertain whether Trump's efforts will translate into electoral victories, but the turnout in this Democratic stronghold serves as an illustrative case. The hush money trial in Manhattan will be suspended until after Memorial Day weekend, necessitating Trump's departure from Trump Tower. According to a report published by the New York Times, the prospect of Trump holding an event in the Bronx for 3,500 people is not met with enthusiasm by many residents. As expected, a significant number of individuals in the Bronx are dissatisfied. Jeffrey Mays, a Times writer, quoted a retired subway track worker, Noel Rivera, saying, "I wish he would just disappear. He is not supported by anyone as far as I am aware." The newspaper notes that this is Trump's first rally in New York since 2016, and that the majority of people in Katona Park on Wednesday morning appeared displeased with his presence. Mays pointed out that Maggie Rodriguez, 57, an electrician walking her dog in the park, cringed at the sight of the Trump team setting up for the rally. Rodriguez asserted that democracy would be at risk if Trump were to win the election in November. Richie Torres, a Democrat from New York who represents the district, believes the former president should be present to repent for his actions, explaining that Trump is so unpopular in the Bronx that he is radioactive at this point. Torres correlated Trump's approval ratings with toxic levels of lead and arsenic. Subscribe if you want to stay informed up to the minute about politics in America. This is American Voice. See you in the next video.